Welcome to the channel. Today, we delve into one of the most pressing and complex issues shaping global security, the future of warfare. But we are not just talking about drones flying in the sky or hackers breaking into databases. We are tracing the historical evolution of how war itself has changed and what that tells us about the path ahead. This is a deep exploration of military transformation through unmanned systems, artificial intelligence, and cyberwarfare. Let us begin where all history begins, the past. The story of military transformation has always been linked to technology. From the chariot in Mesopotamia to the Greek phalanx, from gunpowder empires to nuclear deterrence, each epoch of warfare has redefined how states project power and how adversaries resist it. However, with the rise of information technology in the late 20th century, a new form of military revolution began to emerge, what military theorists have called the revolution in military affairs. The Gulf War in 1991 is widely regarded as the first true information age war. Precision-guided munitions, real-time satellite communications, and stealth aircraft showcased what a digitized battlefield could look like. But that was only the beginning. In the following decades, drones, formerly known as unmanned aerial vehicles, moved from reconnaissance platforms to offensive systems. Artificial intelligence emerged not only as a tool for logistics and data analysis, but also as a component in decision-making and targeting systems. Meanwhile, cyberwarfare opened an entirely new domain, one where attacks could occur without a single shot being fired. Understanding this history is essential because it demonstrates a critical pattern. Each technological innovation in warfare reduces the time between decision and action, while increasing the distance, both physical and psychological, between the warrior and the battlefield. This, as we shall see, has profound consequences for ethics, strategy, and global stability. Unmanned systems, particularly drones, have transformed the nature of combat in ways few technologies ever have. Initially used primarily for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, drones have evolved into precision strike platforms capable of eliminating high-value targets across borders with minimal risk to the operator. The historical precedent for drone warfare lies in the development of aerial bombing in the early 20th century. However, where strategic bombing relied on mass and destruction, modern drones emphasize precision and surgical application of force. Their use in counterinsurgency operations in Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia has been extensive, raising serious questions about sovereignty, accountability, and the blurring lines between war and assassination. What makes drone warfare historically unique is the psychological and ethical detachment it allows. Operators can conduct missions from thousands of miles away in air-conditioned trailers, often with joystick controls and real-time video feeds. This new mode of remote warfare introduces asymmetries not just in capabilities, but in moral burden and legal clarity. When a nation can kill without risking its own soldiers, what restrains its use of force? And who is accountable when errors occur? Yet, drones are not only tools of the powerful. Non-state actors have increasingly adopted commercial drones for reconnaissance and even improvised explosive attacks, most notably in Syria and Ukraine. This democratization of drone technology signals a future battlefield where swarms of low-cost, semi-autonomous aerial systems could challenge even advanced militaries. Artificial intelligence is not simply a tool, it is a force multiplier. In military applications, artificial intelligence can sift through vast amounts of data to identify threats, suggest courses of action, or even control autonomous weapons. What we are witnessing is the rise of algorithmic warfare, where machines assist and increasingly influence life and death decisions. Historically, decision-making in war has always been constrained by human cognition. The introduction of artificial intelligence challenges this limitation by offering faster processing, pattern recognition, and predictive analytics. Systems like Project Maven by the United States Department of Defense use machine learning to analyze drone footage. Artificial intelligence-enhanced command and control platforms are being developed to suggest optimized tactics in real-time combat scenarios. However, the integration of artificial intelligence introduces unprecedented risks. One concern is the phenomenon of emergent behavior situations where algorithms behave in unpredictable ways, particularly in adversarial environments. Another is the destabilization of deterrence theory. If nations deploy autonomous systems capable of rapid, lethal retaliation without human oversight, the threshold for conflict could be dangerously lowered. There is also the issue of bias in data. Artificial intelligence systems trained on flawed or limited datasets may reinforce existing prejudices, leading to wrongful targeting. The ethical implications are profound, and they raise a central question: should machines be allowed to make kill decisions? Perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of modern conflict is cyberwarfare. Unlike traditional war, cyberwarfare is often covert, decentralized, and continuous. It targets infrastructure, economies, and information systems, rather than soldiers or physical territory. This represents a paradigmatic shift from territorial conquest to informational dominance. The historical roots of cyberwarfare can be traced to the Cold War, where both superpowers engaged in signals intelligence and electronic warfare. But with the rise of the internet and global interconnectivity, cyberwarfare has emerged as its own domain alongside land, sea, air, and space. Attacks like Stuxnet, which sabotaged Iranian nuclear centrifuges, or the widespread NotPetya malware, which disrupted global supply chains, illustrate the real-world impact of cyber operations. What makes cyberwarfare unique is its ambiguity. Attribution is difficult, making retaliation legally and diplomatically complex. Moreover, cyber operations often blur the line between espionage and warfare, challenging existing frameworks like the Geneva Conventions and the laws of armed conflict. Furthermore, cyberweapons are inherently dual use. A tool designed to exploit a vulnerability in a military network can just as easily be used against hospitals, banks, or power grids. This creates a precarious situation where civilian life becomes an unintended or sometimes intended target in the shadow battles of cyberspace. The future of warfare will not be defined by one technology, but by the convergence of drones, artificial intelligence, and cyber capabilities into a seamless, integrated system of conflict. This transformation is not merely tactical, it is strategic, ethical, and deeply philosophical. As we delegate more control to machines, as we fight from greater distances, and as we engage in invisible wars of code and data, we must ask, what does war mean in the 21st century? Nations, scholars, and citizens alike must grapple with this question. Because while technology may change the tools of war, the consequences of suffering, instability, and the reshaping of societies remain painfully human. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, consider subscribing and joining the conversation in the comments. Until next time, stay curious and stay critical.